time these three dads get on the telly and share the pain and the anguish, but also their hope, they engender that hope in others like us. Look around this room, don't look at me now, look around the room, please do, look around the room now. All the people in this room will to some extent have been touched by suicide, all of them. Some of you in a more pronounced way than others. But it's my fervent wish that this organisation didn't have to exist, but it does. And that it exists, even if we did nothing, gives hope to others.
The three dads obviously have done the most fantastic job in terms of fundraising and awareness raising, but and I personally am very excited. I used to be a head teacher once upon a time, and I know that there is a theme to the walk which I'm sure will come out in all the news coverage that they're going to be getting tomorrow and in the coming fortnight. And that theme is about bringing proper suicide prevention education into the school curriculum through making it compulsory on the PSHE timetable in secondary schools. And Jed and I and the three dads, we've been in the Department of Education in Manchester, we've been at the Department of Health, and we do sense that there is possibly going to be a culture change. And it just may be that this walk might just bring it over the line. And I'm really excited and very proud that we're associated with these three dads who are doing this amazing work for us. So I'd like to thank you very much. I'd also like to say thank you to everybody in the room. As Jed says, we're all part of the same group. I lost my son Patrick to suicide in 2015, and it's been the privilege of my life to become involved with this extraordinary charity.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me here today. It's so gratifying to see that my son died in 1989, and really that was the seed was sown at that point that something had to be done. And I felt then that because Edward had never been in any sort of mental health professional, nothing had been known about it, that we had to do something in schools. And really it's grown from that seed that you are doing today, what I wished to do all those years ago. And I like to think that in between then and now we've sort of opened up so that we can have the discussions about these things which we couldn't have. I mean, when Edward died it was like, gosh, we never even thought it. Suicide was not even in our vocabulary. We didn't even think of it. But thankfully, I was able to sort of bring it forward, and all of you here today, I have to thank you. But most particularly, I will always thank those who have lost. You have paid the greatest price.
That finish line last year, it felt, that walk was done, 300 miles done. And it just felt like we were getting into the swing of it, didn't it? Yeah. It's like, could you do it again? Yeah, of course we could. Little did we realise that we would. But the one thing that wasn't finished, it was the unfinished business stuff, wasn't it? And that was exactly what you've been talking about, Jean. That we met so many suicide-bereaved parents on that walk that came up to us and shared their stories, that all had different beginnings and a very tragic bit in it that was just awful. But then all came to us and said we then found Papyrus after people had died, and then discovered that suicide's the biggest killer of people. And then why isn't anybody telling us? Why didn't anybody tell us? And it was that question, wasn't it? Why didn't anybody tell us? And so when we finished in Shoulders last year, it was like, well, yeah, why didn't anybody tell anybody? Which prompted the conversation with government that is ongoing. And you're right, it is moving, isn't it? Some interesting conversations, but we just need to lean on them a bit more. No, so from our point of view, it was, we felt as though we had no choice in this, did we?
No, Andy's right. We walked over the line in Shoulder, we finished that walk, but the talking just continued.
Yeah.
And what we learnt on that walk was, these young suicides were still happening.
Yeah.
These precious young people are never going to get to fulfil their own, you know, their destiny, their lives, you know, so felt right to carry on, didn't it?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Does it feel right to carry on now?
No.
We'll have a break and then we'll carry on. Yeah.
And the only thing, I was sitting in bed last night with Mike, we were sharing a double bed. Photographic
Like
evidence.
Morecambe and Wise,
With pillows down in between us.
Won't
Yeah,
put that
yeah,
bit
yeah.
underneath.
Yeah. So I was sitting in bed with Mike in Andy Burnham's house, having just met Sam Allardyce and Robbie Fowler with the BBC recording us, our conversation.
eating curry.
Eating curry that
Cooked
Andy
by Andy.
Burnham had cooked. Yeah, just going, how did a bloke from Norfolk end up like this? And that's it, and we've just got to use whatever we've got.